Alexa Bliss's WWE return remains as one of the most theorized moments in WWE right now. So we'll take a look at the updated theory for her. We'll also see what's going on with Sonya's possible replacement, RKBRO, and much more. Let's start things off with this potential replacement for Sonya Deville. That individual is Drew Gulak. Over the last year and a half, the WWE operations have been ran by Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville, the two main authority characters on WWE television. Stephanie McMahon and Triple H aren't really around much on television as characters, and Vince McMahon's only television role is for his story with Austin Theory. So, when it comes to decision-making and booking on television, that's left at Deville and Pearce. But as we're all aware of now, tension is continuing to mount between Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville. After only giving Bianca Belair a $1 fine and helping to launch an investigation on Sonya Deville, Adam Pearce has really put himself out there as being done with Sonya's ways. And at the same time, a new assistant sort of role has emerged with Drew Gulak. Drew Gulak is a phenomenal wrestler, coach, and all-around talent, but WWE hasn't done anything with him in such a long time. The last time Gulak was really featured was probably around a few years ago, so these last few weeks have been a big return to television for him. He still hasn't been referred to as a WWE official, but after the way he's been used over the last few weeks, it definitely seems like he has a chance to possibly join Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville as a decision maker. Why was Drew Gulak even used in this role to begin with? Well, reports speculate that Sonya Deville being busy on Raw with a feud against Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's title is why Drew Gulak was introduced. If Sonya wasn't busy with the Bianca Belair feud, she probably would have been there on SmackDown for the contract signing and all the other moments between Ronda and Charlotte. But since she's busy, Drew Gulak acted like a replacement for Sonya Deville in those segments. The most important question to ask is, what happens next with Drew Gulak now that he's been introduced as an assistant? Well, history tells us that he can rise up the rankings to become a real official. That's exactly what Sonya Deville did. She started as a quiet assistant, and within a few months, she was this dominant heel WWE official. So, if Drew Gulak is going to stick around now as a third option, it'll be interesting to see what his decision is. The obvious direction that everyone is assuming will happen is that Adam Pearce will continue to try to push Sonya Deville out the door as a WWE official and bring in Drew Gulak. So, if Drew Gulak is being prepped by Adam Pearce to take Sonya's spot, we'll have to see how Sonya Deville reacts to that and how she'll handle that news. So be on the lookout for all these stories surrounding the WWE official positions. RKBRO, the tag team between Randy Orton and Riddle, has turned out to be one of the most interesting tag teams that WWE has seen in a long time. But apparently, things almost didn't happen for Randy Orton and Riddle. Reports claim that RK-Bro was never intended to be a long-term tag team that stayed together for well over a year. When Randy Orton and Riddle first got together immediately after WrestleMania 37, reports claim that the tag team was going to be together for 3 to 4 weeks at the most. They were never meant to be an actual tag team. RK-Bro was just going to be used as a little short-term angle to kick off Randy Orton versus Riddle feud after a few weeks of being together. And honestly, that's what fans expected to see as well. Everyone knows Randy Orton's history with tag team partners, so even the fans were expecting Randy to drop Riddle during one of the first few weeks of being together. But as the first few weeks together rolled on, WWE reportedly saw the reaction from the fans and realized that they may have something special with Randy Orton and Riddle. So they decided to keep it rolling and keep them together week after week. That eventually snowballed into current day, where they're now together for over a year and have won multiple tag team titles together. So WWE might have canceled that immediate breakup for RK-Bro in 2021, but as everyone knows, that doesn't mean it's canceled forever. The whole breakup story that we were supposed to see last year will still happen down the line for Riddle and Randy Orton. Randy Orton and Riddle will have that tag team title unification match against the Usos at Backlash. Assuming the Usos win and unify the tag team titles, it'll be interesting to see how that big loss affects Riddle and Orton, and if they'll be able to overcome it or start to show cracks amongst their team. One of the original Alexa Bliss theories following her disappearance after Elimination Chamber was for her to seek revenge on Charlotte Flair. Yes, Alexa is a Raw superstar and Charlotte's a SmackDown superstar, but we previously talked about how it's becoming more common for superstars to appear on different shows, or completely switch brands altogether. And since Alexa's coming off a long hiatus, maybe that fact does give you a nice excuse to quietly push her to SmackDown. So, when we talked about Alexa Bliss getting revenge on Charlotte Flair earlier in the year, the story was a bit different. We mentioned how Alexa could have popped up at Royal Rumble, win the match, and immediately target Charlotte Flair, for obvious Lilly-related reasons. But things didn't go down like that. So, what's the updated theory here to this story? Well, fans are throwing around the idea of Alexa Bliss showing up at Backlash during a critical moment of Ronda and Charlotte's I Quit match to cost Charlotte the SmackDown Women's title. Alexa Bliss assists Ronda Rousey in winning the title and goes into having a non-title feud against Charlotte Flair, solely focused around the fact of getting revenge on Charlotte for what she did to Lilly back at Extreme Rules 2021. Charlotte Flair completely embarrassed Alexa Bliss in her hometown during Extreme Rules by ending her long undefeated streak and by ripping up the Lilly doll that Alexa Bliss was extremely attached to. Then we saw a glimpse of what effect losing Lilly had on Alexa Bliss during those early therapy sessions. The events of Extreme Rules turned the character of Alexa Bliss upside down and completely shook her to the core. So it doesn't really make sense for Alexa to basically let Charlotte off the hook and go search for someone else. Considering the levels of what Charlotte did to Alexa Bliss, it only makes sense for Alexa to do everything she can to get her hands on Charlotte Flair and make her pay. Costing Charlotte Flair the SmackDown Women's title will be a great start for the revenge story of Alexa Bliss. Follow that up with Alexa defeating Charlotte Flair cleanly, and that'll be a great way to tie in the events of Extreme Rules back into current day and close that chapter for Alexa Bliss. Now, with Alexa Bliss defeating Charlotte Flair and getting that revenge on her, now her mind will finally be at ease and free to start exploring other matchups in the women's division. So it's still unknown when Alexa will return or what she'll do when she returns, but targeting Charlotte Flair seems very meaningful for her return, rather than something like throwing her into a random tag team. So it's still unknown what will happen, but that was just one storyline idea that was floating around. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.